Good morning, Year 7. Hope everybody's okay. This week we are going to take a quick look at software again. This is something we did quite a while back, but hopefully some of it seems familiar anyway. Objectives were and are to know what software is and to know the difference between application software and system software. So software is basically a piece of code that is created and runs to perform a specific task. So you've got system software, such as the operating system. That task is to allow the computer to operate other things, to manage devices, etc., etc. Application software performs a specific task, like Photoshop. Its only job is to manipulate images. It's not good for writing letters. It's not good for storing large amounts of data, like in a database. It's not good for manipulating numbers, like you might do in a spreadsheet. Its only job is to do pictures. We'll have a quick look at system software. So this is the one you will use the most without ever thinking about it. So if you have a phone, which I presume you do, the chances are you'll either use Android or iOS. That's called an operating system. Drivers are little bits of code that, again, perform a specific task. Back in the day when me, your parents, whatever, were first using computers, if you bought something like a printer or a microphone, you usually got a disc or a CD with it that had what they call driver software, which is basically tells Windows or iOS what needs to happen in order for that device to work. So obviously for a microphone, it would listen to the microphone port where it's plugged in, and it would convert your speech into the binary that's needed to store it on the computer's hard drive. Utility software, things like firewall software to stop people getting into your computer that shouldn't be, compression software that's used to save space, that sort of thing, antivirus software. Again, like I say, you will probably use these. You might have antivirus software on your phone. Chances are you don't think about it or worry too much, but it is there in the background. Obviously, whatever computer device you are using, whether it's a tablet, a phone, even a TV these days, because they all come with internet connections and web browsers and apps in them and stuff, they all have an operating system that runs in the background. It's not something you normally need to worry about. You'll just probably get asked to update it every few months. But this is what they generally do. The operating system specifically looks after things like user management. Obviously, when you log into the school computers, you don't have the same permissions you would have if you log into your parents' computer. Certainly if you logged in as the admin. You're limited. You can't do things like you can't go on YouTube. There's the firewall in place, smooth wall, stops you going on a lot of websites. Does the device drivers to make sure your cameras, your mouse, all these things work properly. File management, so you can move things around. What you typically download a picture, go in your download folder. File management software like File Explorer will allow you to move that picture to a picture folder or a music folder, something that maybe is a bit more appropriate and some where you can find it easier. Multitasking, that means having more than one program running at once. Back in my day, very long back time ago, for me, like 30 odd years ago, the computers used some software called MS-DOS. That basically you could do one program at a time. You were either writing a document or you're using a spreadsheet or you're playing a game. You couldn't have all three of these things open and interchange between them very easily. Nowadays, Windows, Linux and stuff, and iOS, what do they call it now? Whatever they call the Mac operating system, Mac OS even, they allow you to have a spreadsheet open, your email open, a web browser open, all at the same time, and you can just flick between them. That's something that's newish to operating systems. But the main gist of today's lesson, if you will, is application software. So you may well know these logos. Photoshop from the computers at school, Microsoft Word from at school, WhatsApp. I'll be amazed if you don't have WhatsApp on your phone. That's an app, therefore it counts as application software. The definition of application software then, it's used to carry out tasks such as writing an email, making a poster, doing homework, messaging. They do one function. So, for example, Snapchat allows you to upload a picture, Instagram allows you to upload a picture, the YouTube app plays videos off YouTube's website. Facebook, it's the same, it just brings in your feed from your Facebook website. Microsoft Word, its main function is to create letters and documents. You can have tables in there, but it's not a very good way to do it. If you needed to manipulate some numbers, like say if you were comparing prices and stuff, you would use a spreadsheet. A web browser has one function. Its job is to get you onto the internet. It knows how to get from your computer to get you to a website that will allow you to do something, whether it's Google or BBC or wherever. Another example would be graphics software. That's Photoshop is for image manipulation. You could have Fireworks, which is more for creating buttons and images for websites. You've got Adobe Illustrator is for creating very complicated, what they call vector graphics, but I won't go into that one. You've got video software like Adobe Premiere Pro. You've got audio software like Audacity, that sort of thing. They do have kind of categories. So your task today will be to have a look at the quiz I've put on the link to on Show My Homework. There's 10 questions. I want you to think of the most applicable program for each scenario. So, for example, if you're writing a letter, you would want a word processor. A word processor's job is to create letters. If you wanted to browse BBC Bitesize, you would use a web browser. That's a web browser's only job is to get you onto the internet. If you needed to manipulate a picture, say there's a picture you wanted to add in, a picture of you on your holidays and you wanted to tinker with the image, make it darker, make it lighter, add in some effects, add in some stuff in the background, like, maybe a camel if you're on holiday somewhere hot, like North Africa, Egypt-wise, you could add a camel in the back. You would use something like Photoshop. If you need to send an email, you would open a program like Microsoft Outlook. Microsoft Outlook or Mozilla Thunderbird, their only job is to write emails. That sort of thing. So think about the questions. Think about the most appropriate piece of software. You guys have used this software before in school with me. I don't think it's terribly difficult, but if you get stuck or you want to ask me any questions, feel free, like always, to send me a message or an email, and I will get back to you as quick as I can. Otherwise, good luck with the quiz. I'll see your scores when you've done them, and I will catch you guys in a week. Take care. Bye.